This is an interesting topic. I thought maybe, since this is one of your favorite topics. Um, so here's an article that is apparently about a dating show that essentially catfished men.
Mhm.
The article is called "The Moment Miriam Riviera Told Contestants That She Was in Fact a Trans Woman." Just so people know, that's a biological male.
Yep.
Um, on Sky's cruel reality show, and they went on a rampage. Let me see if I can play this. Oh, yeah, here.
I'm not a woman.
By the way, I can look at that chest and tell you that those are
I know.
some extremely cheap titties.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. I mean, they're so fake.
I'm not
Okay.
a woman. I
Oh
was
my
born as a man.
This guy's
Oh, look at them laughing in the back.
that's because that guy had sex
I
with her
guess he was-
probably.
Yeah.
More women.
Yeah.
All the boys start to laugh, and that's when I thought, shit.
So they're by the way, just so we're clear, Melanie, they're worried about the biological man that catfished them all.
Oh.
The men who thought it was a woman, they're not the victims in this. It's the trans person.
Of course, that's how they always try to frame it. But my goodness, that's the thing is these guys' reputation is really messed up from a lot of this because, women, we typically don't want to date a man who has been with a man. Like I think there's a little more leniency for guys who it's like, oh, they don't care as much. But I do not
That's
want to
not
be
true.
with. Really, you think?
Yeah.
Okay,
no.
well, I just know if I were dating a guy and at any point in his life he had been with a man, I would be out. I would be like, in this kind of situation, though, if he was
Oh,
tricked,
wait. You're right. If a woman's been with a woman as a guy, yes, they are more lenient.
right? Like if I were dating a guy and I found out that he had been with a man deliberately before, I would be out. I would be like, no, thanks, can't do it. That's just, yeah. And so, and that's the thing is, I don't care how some of these women want to act so inclusive, this and that. It's just an ick that you can't get over a guy being with another man that cannot be recovered from.
Yeah, poopy D.
Yeah, this is really, this is.
I don't want to
really
be
bad for
gross,
their
but can I ask a
reputation.
question? Can I ask a probing question? A probing question?
Okay.
I don't want to be gross though. Okay, so if this makes you uncomfortable, there's nothing you can really do. But you can refuse the answer.
Okay.
So as you say, he's been with a man, right?
Right.
What if it was only like oral copulation?
No.
What if it was he didn't know
so
going into it, but he found out afterwards?
How do you not know though if it has to do with the
I don't know.
Or if he's just like, oops, that was a butthole?
No. I'm talking about just getting a BJ.
I think that if he, like something like that, it would, if he didn't know, and then that's all that he got out of it, and he didn't do it to the guy
immediately afterwards.
Hey, this guy was absolutely perfect, found Jesus, and has been waiting until marriage after that point.
All right, so then he's good.
I might get over that scenario, but if he was the one doing it, or the other stuff, no.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, you can't mistakenly do that, right? You'd have to be receiving it. Yeah, because there are some conservative male. I don't know if you knew this, but there are some male conservative pundits, commentators that have entire articles about sucking trans peen, right? And they're on the right.
Sure.
There's
just no freaking way.
All right.
So these guys, their reputation, like that's going to affect their dating life moving forward. Because I don't care if a bunch of these women want to pretend like they're all inclusive. Oh yeah, I'm all for this, that, and that. They would. That's an ick for women.
Well, yeah, and you're one thing that you didn't mention that is a real thing is that men have historically more than once, I believe, I know at least once in the past year, when they get tricked like this, they react very poorly. They have ended up ending the life of that person.
Or they could themselves. You know?
My guess is it's probably after the fact. They're probably, but I mean, it is. But I think. But anyway, let me go back to this clip.
Oh.
As soon as she said, "I am not a woman," all the boys start to laugh.
They should.
Yeah, they should, because
They
this is
should, because they're feeling deeply ashamed.
yeah.
You could tell the one guy in the wife beater shirt probably made out with her. Probably went a little further than he wants his mates to know.
Right.
And that's why he's like, he looks angry,
Yeah.
like, because he got humiliated. You
Oh,
know, like,
yeah. Yeah.
That's when I thought, shit. But they weren't her words. Miriam's final reveal was written, that was scripted. They overheard a conversation about how they would work.
how old is that? That's an iMac.
But she said them.
This
so
is
they come
old.
from
I
her
believe they filmed this in like
words. You know, I was born
2003
a
or
man, is what she
something.
said.
Oh, you knew this. Oh, you're
Yeah,
familiar with
I
this
I
story.
read part of the article. Yeah, so they filmed this in like
Oh, look
2003.
at you. You did
That-
your homework.
I did, and
Yeah.
and that trans person is, I believe, no longer alive. I think that he unalived himself.
What?
I know, surprise of the century, but I'm
What?
pretty sure he unalived himself. But his husband was saying that, oh, he thinks it's
This is what
murder.
did it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
and also this dude has been on hormones since he was 11 years old. So again, people want to pretend like that just isn't happening with children. It is. He's been taking female hormones since he was 11. That's why I think a lot of the guys didn't realize. Obviously, his boobs look very fake, but a lot of women
The
have
rest of
fake
the other
boobs.
features
So
were
yeah,
pretty feminine, yeah.
yeah, and so
The chest
he's
acne is pretty much a giveaway. But
he's
the
yeah.
oh god.
So
He-
he's on hormones at 11 and then had surgeries at like 16. Yeah.
I mean, I can see it in the jaw, but I'm not
Right.
gonna pretend like if I was just walking past this person, I'd be like, that's a dude.
Right. And especially
I'm
in
not gonna-
2003 when it wasn't as normalized as it
Yeah.
is now, I wouldn't even have really questioned it, especially back then, because yeah, I mean, I would have just thought, oh, that's a woman who got plastic surgery.
Right, yeah, right. Because the face looks a little plastic.
Right.
And the boobs are obviously fake. But
right.
the like, I mean, women have fake boobs too. But I
Exactly.
mean, more women have them than men generally. But
Yeah.
this guy probably jumped off the. I mean, that guy. These guys are all like, I knew it. This guy's like, I'm going to go on a violent rampage.
They wait,
Like-
yeah. So they
Oh, here he is. Here, too.
Yep.
Look at this.
Oh, because they sued. Or so he sued. Basically,
Oh, he should.
yeah. So they didn't even want this to air at all. And
Because they got
so-
humiliated, right? Like
and
the
it
men
didn't
got
air
humiliated.
until a lot later. Yeah, none of the men wanted it to air, and they pulled together for a big lawsuit. And what ended up happening was they paid them an undisclosed amount, and then they went ahead and aired it anyway.
Oof.
But-
yeah, that's so funny. Like all these guys are probably like, I mean, all right, fine. Like for an extra 50 grand, I'll get humiliated on TV. Like
Yeah.
that's what it. I mean, look, I mean, yes, because I know, and I'm
Right.
looking at it like,
But
but
in
I mean,
2003, when this wasn't a normal thing, I wouldn't even have really thought about it.
she's standing like a man. That
I
could tell
know.
you.
Yep.
That I
Yep.
could tell you. But I mean, the rest of it is very convincing. But the thing is, you know, getting fooled, so to speak, is like whatever, but getting set up to be humiliated. Basically, the trans person is the butt of the joke.
Yep.
And these men too are like, I guess they're also the butt. They're both butts of the joke.
Yeah, they are. This is just, I don't know how they thought this was a good idea, but back in the day, it's like reality shows were kind of
Yeah, right.
unhinged.
If this would have aired now, let's say
Oh.
hypothetically, like everybody would be canceled. All of the men
Yep.
who weren't immediately like, I will stay. Like every man who laughed, the media would find every aspect, everybody in their life, and they would ruin their life. They would, for this woman, she'd already be a multimillionaire. She'd be
Yeah.
on every news show, every whatever, talking about how this, that, and the other thing.
I do
You
think
know?
it's cruel to all parties involved. Obviously, I'm very, very against transgender ideology, and I don't think that this guy should have done that or what should have transitioned and all that. But I do think it was cruel to do to him. as well as the guys there. They just made a giant spectacle of him. It's an unfortunate situation, especially later he ended up taking his life.
This guy?
Yep. And so
I mean, you could have scripted it more
well, and apparently
predictably.
like his dad was against him transitioning and all this kind of stuff, rightfully so. He should have never wanted his son to transition like that. So there was a lot of problems within the family as well because of that. But this is just a tragic situation where you know, probably his mom was the one who moved forward with it, because how else would he be getting hormones at 11 years old? This is a bad situation where the mom should be ashamed of herself, and the mom has blood on her hands. She ruined her son's life, and now he's no longer with us, when she should have been saying, no, you're not a girl, you're a child, and you'll discover this later.